Welcome, my friends and fellas, my buds and bloods, to FNF Weekly Ranked. I'm going to be ranking every single song from FNF Weekly's all of their weeks, except Tweakmas, from worst to best. This is by far my biggest project yet, with 63 songs. Yeah, this was by far the most difficult ranking I've ever made, at least so far. So many different themes, chromatics, instrumentals, it was a lot! But I finally got a proper ranking down, and I am ready to show you all my list. But first, I have this legal contract I'm supposed to read. Legal thing. Ahem. Disclaimer, everything stated in this video is based on my personal opinion on how I enjoy music in the FNF space. Any negative comments made in this video are not attacks on people who enjoy the music or those who worked on the music. Anger in this video is exaggerated for the sake of entertainment. I do not encourage anyone to harass those who have different opinions than me. Do not do it. If my opinion differs from yours, then deal with it. Everyone's going to have different opinions than you, and you should not go to Twitter, to Reddit just to complain that someone on the internet doesn't think exactly like you. Blah, blah, blah. Alright! With that over with, grab some snacks and a drink. We're going to be here a while. It's time for FNF! Stop right there! Who dares cut me off before I even begin? The only person with the power to rival yours, brother. Oh, come on. What are you doing here? Isn't it obvious? I'm here to complete the parody. What are you talking about? You're meant to look like Norbert, and I'm meant to look like Trebron. Duh. Oh, okay, fine, you can go now. Nah, I want to stick around and be part of this video properly. What? No, that's absurd. I don't do videos with multiple people. Oh, come on. You did it with Penov before. Penov was the musician himself. That was an exception, not the rule. And I am your brother. I barely even get to chat with you. And this is one of the perfect opportunities to do so. Let me have this one time, unless you don't want your own dear brother to spend time with you. Oh, how heartbreaking. Fine, it's just stay out of my way for most of the video. Don't worry, I'm not gonna yap like you do. Just interject when it's funny. Whatever. Alright, let's start with the bottom of the barrel. This is probably going to be very obvious, isn't it? Yeah.
That was really bad.
Oh wow, the bottom spot is Teking Pico Mix. What a surprise, said no one ever. I don't really need to explain why this song is dead last. Everyone should already know why. I mean, it's annoying, Pico sucks, it's not funny. What more can I say about it? The only reason that this song is below the original Teking is because at the bare minimum, that one at least has a opener and a good followable melody, kind of, and one joke that sorta lands. But the Pico Mix has nothing. It's G tier and is absolutely worthless. Well, that was underwhelming. No dramatic yelling or anger, huh? Yeah, it's not worth wasting my breath on.
Tweaking boss.
Alright, there's the other one. Yeah, I shouldn't have to explain why this song is bad either. It at least has an opener, which is okay, but is pretty much useless because you could just listen to the weekly version, which is just what this song is, but without all the unfunny jokes. I mean, yeah, there is the one have fun charting this joke, which is kind of funny, but that's it. I think you're being too nice to this. Yeah, I mean, fair enough, but I don't hate this one that much. I've heard way worse.
You have barely scratched the surface of my brilliance.
Brilliance. This song is my least favorite song on the soundtrack. I don't think it's the worst, but it is my least favorite. Because while the Tekings were objectively worse, because they're bad joke songs, this one is the one I hate the most. Is it because it has Pico in it? No! What? Okay, kind of. It's not that he's here, that's not the problem, I mean, duh. It's a Pico Schoolhouse-based song, of course he'd be the primary character. The problem is that he's just used not well, he sounds so bland. In fact, the whole song does. The instrumental is empty and lifeless, like the other song. Shut up. The instrumental is empty and lifeless, with the only notable element of the song being those constant annoying screaming sounds in the background, which are garbage to listen to. And while yes, there are several songs in the soundtrack that have it, this song is the most noticeable and the most annoying use of this awful sound. None of the melodies are very good. When the song is fast-paced, it just sounds really messy and annoying, and the only part of the song that isn't mind-numbingly boring is the slow part, which is barely even worth listening to. It's an okay part at literal best. And then there's Alucard. Oh, like the Castlevania guy? You know that's not who that is. Yeah. Anyways, Alucard's chromatic is obnoxiously bad. Terrible, even. It might as well be my least favorite chromatic in the mod. There are some not good ones, but this one is arguably my least favorite. I just hate how it sounds, and it has no chemistry with Pico, or the instrumental, or anything else. It just sounds awful. The best way that I could summarize my thoughts on this song would be as follows. It would be just as entertaining listening to this song as it would be watching paint dry. It's that boring.
Goodness, keep it down.
Look, I'm not opposed to them adding Sunday to the mod. She's an interesting and unique pick. That's cool. But of all the characters, this is the only song out of all of Mod Titans that just does not fit the character at all. Sunday is known for being wild and out of control and being a dirty commie. And most importantly, Sunday's loud. But this song is just, it's sleep material. It's so low energy and tiring and boring. Sunday's chromatic doesn't fit her very well at all, and it doesn't even sound that good on its own. It just, it makes her sound like a lady who's been smoking for 50 years. Honestly, would not put that past her character. Regardless, as I said, it doesn't even sound good in the context of the song. It just sounds so rough, and trying to blend it with this more chill instrumental style, it doesn't work. I guess the song is kind of like trying to be a more sleepy Sunday song, but come on, man, that's just a boring route to go with a character like Sunday. The instrumental is extremely one-note and boring, being pretty bare bones with a lot of annoying high notes that make the instrumental frustrating to listen to. And the melodies are very forgettable in the first half, mainly due to how repetitive it is, but also how basic a melody it is. The second half has an okay melody, but by that point, the song has so badly bored me that I just want the song to be over. And once again, it just repeats itself over and over. But at least it's an okay melody, which is more than the first half can say. If you enjoy the vibe aspect of the song, sure, I could maybe understand that. In fact, you can like any song for whatever reason, even something like Brilliance. I might not agree with it, but I'm not gonna say you can't do that. But what I will say is, don't try to convince me that this is a proper Sunday song, because really? Is it really? You don't even like Sunday songs, and you don't care about her as a character. Why do you care if it does her justice? First of all, Marks is a good song. Second of all, even if this wasn't a Sunday-themed song, I'd still find it mind-numbingly boring. And third of all, the potential for Sunday to have a banger song was right there. Her original mod is pretty old, so a more modern version of a Sunday song could have been really good. But this? It's just not it. Oh yeah, did you even notice that Sunday doesn't play her guitar for this song? Oh, thanks for reminding me how much more wasted this song is. Thanks for that! Goo. This is basically just the intro of Goo Weekly, but cuts itself off in a bad way.
Hey, at least it doesn't sound terrible.
That's true, that's why it's ranking higher than the other songs. And at least it's super short, so it's not like it's wasting time, but still pretty much useless, and I have no reason to return to it.
That's it?
Goo Pico Mix. This song is such missed potential. Pico actually sounds good here, Mr. Boss sounds decent, and the instrumental actually starts to go in, and I thought, oh wow, are they actually gonna make a banger Pico Mix? And then it stops and plays it up. Well, okay.
I mean, hey, give it credit. It's at least unique. That's why you're ranking it above Goo, right?
Exactly. But man, this song is frustrating. This could have been actually something amazing.
Who knows, maybe one day they'll actually finish this song.
I doubt it. The only thing we've gotten from Weekly since this mod was Tweakmas.
Are you gonna rank Tweakmas sometime?
Yes, I'll rank it around Christmas time, okay? In fact, for anyone who's gonna ask that in the comments, there you go. There's your answer. How do you even pronounce the name of this one?
What one?
This one.
Oh, the Chorus Kids one. Let's look. Chorale?
Chorale. That doesn't make sense. Maybe it's Corale? Coral?
Maybe the E is silent, so it's just choral?
Why are you saying ch? Shouldn't it be k, like Chorus Kids?
I don't know, we're wasting time. Let's just talk about the song already.
Right, yeah. I'll admit, this one has a cute concept. I like the idea that BF just joins with the Chorus Kids by constantly singing instead of waiting his turn, and they get annoyed of that. And visually, it's kind of cute, but visuals don't help any song at all. They don't affect the rank in any way, neither does gameplay. It's just the music, and when you look at just the music, this song is really just a nothing song. BF sounds fine, I guess. The melodies are really kind of repetitive and very in one ear and out the other, and the instrumental is just elevator music. I mean, I personally don't like the sound of the Chorus Kids. It's not something that this song does wrong, I just don't like their sound in general. But even then, I do feel like they could have been used in more interesting ways. Like maybe near the end of the song, they start following BF's lead and just kind of freestyle a bit. I don't know, I feel like the song has a lot of potential, but it just barely scratches the surface of what it could be.
How could it be popular?
Aren't you gonna say something?
I'm waiting for the song to start.
Wait, what? Has it already started?
Technically.
What do you mean oh wait, I hear something now.
Yep. This is a song that's filled with problems. So let me walk you all through why Popular is, in my opinion, one of the worst songs in Weekly, despite being so popular.
I was waiting for one of your terrible puns to show up.
The first time I heard this song, I pretty much immediately knew that it was taken from a pre-existing song, and I was right. The song Popular is a remix of a song called No Matter How I Look at It, It's Not My Fault. At least that's the English translation, because I promise you guys I would butcher the name if I dared try to say it in its original Japanese name. I'm so sorry. So I'm not gonna do that. And I admit, despite knowing literally nothing about the anime, I actually liked the original song. Popular takes the singing from the original songs, slaps it onto this not great instrumental, chops up the vocals in a way that kind of ruins the original vocal performance of the original song, adds a really dragged out intro and a really bland outro, and it leads to this. Look, if you at all like Popular, trust me, the original song is at least worth a listen, and you'll probably understand where I'm coming from more. And if you liked the original song and then heard this, I would imagine you probably don't like Popular very much, since it kinda ruins a lot of what made the original song good. Because I know that's how it was for me. More on Popular itself, something that bothers me a lot about this song is that it doesn't even fully commit to using other elements of the original song, and it makes it feel so incomplete. There's a really fast-paced part of the original song that's nowhere in Popular, despite the fact that it would probably fit the FNF style super well. In fact, here, take a listen. The Mirror, Oh Mirror chorus from the original song sounds okay here, but it really is kinda ruined because of something in the instrumental. Guess what's back? The stupid brilliant screaming! Oh, they're back and they ruin what is otherwise the best part of the song! Ah! Even before I listened to the original song, I found this to be a pretty boring and frankly mid song. But at least it was a high D, because some parts of it weren't that bad. However, now that I've actually heard the original, Popular has become way worse by comparison. Man, this is just a dumpster fire of a music track.
Well, as someone who has never heard the original song, unlike him, I just find this song to be kind of lackluster. It has its moments where it sounds okay, but the ending ruins it with how terrible it sounds. I wanted to care about this song for the middle section, but yeah, after hearing all that and actually realizing that those screaming sounds are back, yeah, I'm kind of justified in thinking that maybe I was right in thinking the song wasn't that good.
At least we're done with the F tiers. Up next is D tiers, songs that I don't really like due to their poor execution, but at least they have some redeeming factors.
Where's Chef Blasting and Boss Tweaks in Brazil?
Funny you say that, actually.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, Mr. Boss, it's Pim here. We're just calling because we're in Brazil right now.
This song obviously kinda sucks. It's basically just voice lines from the boss in Smiling Friends thrown together on a shockingly decent instrumental with an alright melody tying it all together. I mean, yeah, it's bad, but it's not completely worthless like the T-Kings or the Goos. And the boss's chromatic isn't actually awful. It can actually sound really good when it's used well, and this one's, well, it's not the best utilization of his vocals, but it's certainly not the worst. I can never find myself feeling angry towards this song like I do with all the F tiers. Yeah, it's bad, but not F tier bad.
Personally, I see this song as so bad it's actually kind of good. It's absolutely terrible in a hilarious way. I still think you're being too nice and it should be F tier.
Yeah.
Where's the lamb sauce?
Come on, man.
I just need a...
This is the lamb.
Where's the lamb sauce?
Right here.
Gordon Ramsay.
This should also be an F tier.
Don't care. Despite that this song is very low effort, it actually doesn't sound bad. I mean, sure, it's not good. The instrumental is bland and really unremarkable. BF is extremely annoying. But Gordon doesn't sound too bad, and the pop-off is actually pretty good since BF actually uses his default chromatic there. Yay. And the ending kind of gets a chuckle out of me, I'm not gonna lie. Otherwise, yeah, it's kind of a low-effort, kind of joke song, but far from the level of awfulness that the other songs were.
You're just ranking it higher because you've been called the Gordon Ramsay of this community and you think it's hilarious.
Well, not really helping the song, but that is kind of funny.
Ugh. Moving on.
Permana is just not good. My biggest issue with the entire song is, frankly, the chromatics. Link and Skull Kid both sound way too similar, and they're both extremely high-pitched, which makes the song really frustrating to listen to. Link is especially bad. Like, okay, I could maybe get some enjoyment from Skull Kid for a few turns, but Link is pretty unbearable. And to make matters somehow worse, the song drags out for so long. There are so many moments in the song that just stop, and you think, oh, is that it? Nope! The song just keeps going with new melodies that sound nothing like the other elements of the song. Yay, I hate it! There's a slower part of the song which is actually kinda nice. Sort of reminds me of like a waltz style, and you know what, I'll admit, that part of the song actually is really nice. I sort of enjoy it. I'm not a fan of the chromatics still, but the melody itself is really nice, and it does kind of give off Legend of Zelda vibes. And so does the instrumental for that matter. It's kinda nice. A bit on the empty side, but it sorta works. I would have liked it if it fit Ocarina of Time's music style a little bit better, but at least you can tell it's an attempt. Thus, I'm willing to give this song a D tier overall, because it does have some pretty good elements. Some bad ones too, obviously, but as a whole, I don't feel like this song ever gets as bad as some of the other songs do.
You know, I actually agree with a lot of this. Something I've never heard you mention before in detail, when a song constantly starts and stops again, it makes the song feel so segmented, and most of the time the chunks of the song just feel worse due to their isolation. Since they have all the starts and stops, each section now feels like it can be judged on its own merit. But if you do that too much, then it just ends up feeling pointless.
That was actually a really solid explanation. I'm shocked you actually were able to put that all together.
Ah, come on, bro. I can throw my takes into the ring with ya, can't I?
If you keep articulating your thoughts this well, then maybe. Billy Mice. Yeah, it's not as bad as I thought it would be, but that's not saying much.
I'm a little shocked they picked a minus character. Feels like a lazy filler pick.
Yeah, it's same. Though I guess there was a lot of minus mods out there, and you know what? I'll give the song credit. It does accurately sum up what a minus mod is. Some cool designs, but kind of bland music that's just trying too hard. This song is a lot like Philly Nice, duh, it's a remix, but it's a lot worse in most of its elements. BF sounds weird with how many high notes he's hit. Pico kinda feels buried under the overwhelming instrumental and doesn't work in the really fast-paced melodies because it often sounds like his voice is just looping over itself in a way that's not only distracting but also takes away from any satisfaction I'd have from the melody to begin with. The melodies are sped up way too fast to be enjoyable on the same level Philly Nice at least was. And they took out the funny
Big ol' bunny.
from the intro. I mean, come on, man. You can't have a Philly Nice remix without the
Big ol' bunny.
bit in the intro. You can't do that.
I mean, it's kind of there, but it definitely doesn't hit the same as the original. You don't even like the original that much, do you?
Yeah, I don't. But this one's a lot worse. I get the appeal to this song. It's supposed to hit really hard, but to me, it just doesn't hit. It feels like it's trying too hard. It sounds messy, and I'd just rather listen to the OG. But to give the song some credit, I like BF's backing voice in some of the pop-offs. Those are neat inclusions, I guess, but yeah, that's kind of it. Anyways, now we're going on to C tiers, the songs that I just find really either mid, or I have some strongly mixed feelings on, or I just don't feel that much of anything towards them. Undead. This song is okay, but given the fact that it's literally 30 seconds of a song, I really can't rank it very high, but I don't actively dislike this song, because the zombie has a pretty good chromatic, pea shooter is alright, the instrumental is pretty fitting for PvZ, and if it wasn't so short, I could see the song actually being pretty good, but since it is so short, I really can't find any reason to rank this higher.
Am I not allowed to chime in?
Shut up, we're moving to the next entry. This song is certainly a song, alright. BF sounds decent at a few points and kind of okay, kind of mid-even at some other points due to his voice being a bit all over the place. The sound effects being used as the opponent voice is fine, but there are way better examples of this in other mods. The first one I think of is Giant Enemy Spider. I don't think that song will ever be topped in that category. The instrumental is pretty empty and barely even in the song at all. It's just a lot of sound effects in the instrumental specifically that are The melodies are fine. The entire song is super basic and really not special, which is kind of the whole song. It's just sort of basic and pretty forgettable. I could see someone liking it for the simplicity, but I could also see someone hating it for being kind of boring. Personally, I don't have any feelings for this song. It's just sort of there.
This song is to this OST like how rice is to food. Bland and flavorless, and I do not understand why people love it. Though I also don't understand why someone would say it's outright horrible.
Funny, because music and food are both subjective.
Unless you're talking about Unglob. That song is objectively bad.
You know what, usually I would not agree with that kind of statement, but you chose Unglob. That's valid.
No! Stay in the box! No! Look, a song from a franchise you can't pronounce.
We're not doing this right now.
Come on, try it.
No.
Try it.
No.
Try it.
Oh, fine. Dangan Dang it. I wasn't even trying to. Okay, stop. This is a waste of time. Let me just talk about the song already. Box 24 is okay. The instrumental is kinda nice. I'm usually a fan of choirs, even if this one isn't really used in a smart way. It's just the whole song has a choir. But I mean, I guess that's still kind of neat. The melodies are fine, a bit too repetitive for me to really like. And a lot of the song feels extremely samey and feels sluggish on repeat, which is a shame. And the chromatics for both of these characters are just okay, kind of mid, if I'm being honest. Kyoko's chromatic is the weaker one of the two, due to it sounding pretty choppy and having kind of a gaspiness to it that I don't like. And Makudo, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing these names, is basically just default male chromatic MP4. And it ends up being pretty forgettable and boring. Funny enough, I actually did used to like this one at one point. There was a time where I actually liked this one, especially its middle section, but nowadays every time I listen to it, I just kind of get bored of it. I don't actively dislike it, but I don't find any reason to return to this song anymore. It's just kind of grown old to me.
Somehow, this is your least favorite Tweak 6 song. Sure. Guess we're just ignoring Can You Hear Me?
Yeah, this is my least favorite. It has very little to offer in the end.
How to fix this.
Whoa, hey, Mr. Boss, no, wait, we'll take care of him.
Really? Oh, okay.
Taking Weekly. This song certainly exists as well. I get some enjoyment out of the middle section. It's pretty catchy, especially with the boss's tonal with his ha ha ha. Like that's kind of catchy. But the beginning and the ending are kind of mid.
Not to mention the annoying high-pitched screaming is still present in the song during said intro and outro.
Yeah, but it doesn't really bother me too much. It's noticeable enough to be a problem, but not bad enough to move this song below a C tier. And I'm done talking about Taking Weekly. There is genuinely almost nothing to talk about with this song. It is perfectly fine, but not much more than that. Funky flow. Oh boy, this song. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I hate Parappa the Rapper a lot. I find him very annoying, and this song actually captures that pretty well. His chromatic is bad. Nowhere near as annoying as he is by default, but still not pleasant. None of his notes flow well with the song, and it just comes off as super awkward the whole time.
I figured you weren't going to like this song. I remember the time you took Parappa the Rapper and you threw him into the sun.
When did I do that?
Oh, in your sleep.
I did that when I was sleeping?
You hate him that much.
Sure, whatever. Anyways, the other elements of this song aren't that bad. The octopus cosplaying his boyfriend sometimes sounds good, while other times he's a little bit irritating. The instrumental is a bit generic, and I'm not the biggest fan of like the voice lines being implemented into the instrumental. And the melodies are actually decent. The tonal shift especially sounds kind of good. I like how Octopus Hairdresser syncs up with the saxophone in the instrumental. That's nice. Sounds pretty good. Parappa sounds less bad in that part, which is... It's a good thing, I'll say that. Wait a minute. I hate this dog because I find him annoying. Why do you hate him?
Oh, because of his fan base. They're a bunch of spoiled brats that are always acting like somehow Parappa is the king of rhythm games. Acting as if Parappa never existed. FNF would never have been created in the first place.
Oh, yeah, fair point. I hate that too. But I'm not I don't think every Parappa fan is like that.
Well, I haven't met one who isn't an insufferable brat. So if a Parappa fan who doesn't think FNF's creation entirely hinges on the existence of this stupid dog, I dare them to step forward.
Guys, please prove him wrong. Someone please prove him wrong. Dust Loop is kind of disappointing. Some of the melodies are actually pretty good, especially in the slow part of the song. I like that. The instrumental is pretty solid, giving off old school beat-em-up menu theme vibes. That's a mouthful, but it is what it is. And it's pretty cool. And you know what? Venom sounds decent. Outside of his chromatic being very clicky at a couple points, which is off-putting. But then there's Spider-Man. I'm sorry, but I do not like this chromatic. Like, at all. I don't even really know why. It just sounds so weird to me. It has a filter that makes the chromatic sound so separate from the rest of the song, and I can never find myself enjoying it because of Spider-Man. With that and the overall song is just too low energy for me to get invested in. And I'm not saying that you have to have high energy to make a song good, but like, this song feels like it should have more energy to it.
Spider-Man is perfectly fine to me. I think the entire song is actually solid, but I can see why you wouldn't like it. Truth be told, I just kind of expected more. Although, if you don't like Spider-Man, that makes me wonder what you're going to think of Tenkaichi Battle Worlds.
Kinda sounding like how the live chat is. Every time I bring up an element that's gonna be in another song, they bring up the other song.
I guarantee you someone in the live chat already brought it up before I did.
Maybe.
Sweet and sour sauce, hey! The sweet and sour nut barbecue!
Crimson Fog. Okay, look, I'm just gonna get my biggest complaint with the song out of the way. Pico sounds terrible. Like, he sounds as if he's sick. He's so muffled and weak, and none of his notes have any weight to them, making him blend way too much into the background, and I kind of forget he's even in the song sometimes. But when I remember he's in the song, I'm frustrated because he sounds so bad.
Does he sound worse in this song or in Brilliance?
As much as I want to say Brilliance because I don't like saying anything nice about that song because it's so boring, but I gotta admit, this is his worst utilization in the mod. If not most FNF mods I've heard him in.
It's just that bad.
Which is sad because the other elements of Crimson Fog are actually done kinda well. Hank's chromatic is decent. I like the way it's utilized here, even if it's a bit gaspy sometimes, but it does sort of work on him, and it doesn't sound half bad. And the instrumental is actually really good, capturing Madness Combat super well, and just kind of being a bop all around. And the melodies do sound pretty good in this song. A bit forgettable, but for the most part, they're not bad melodies. But I just can't get over how bad Pico sounds. Most Weekly fans agree that Tweak 8 and Tweak 10 are generally the best tweaks in the mod. I pretty much agree with this. However, Frottacini is a song I saw a lot of people around me describe as one of Weekly's best, and I quickly realized this was going to be one of those hot takes. Look, I don't think this song is bad. It's a C tier. I just think it's one of the more mixed songs for me. In fact, this might be the song I have the most mixed feelings on as a whole. Cause there are some pros. Peppino has a pretty good chromatic, especially with his long notes. I really like those. It's not one of the best in Weekly, but it's still a good chromatic, and the instrumental is amazing. You can instantly tell it's a Wabox instrumental, just due to the fun energy it has. And it fits Pizza Tower really well. But then there's the negatives, like fake Peppino, where he just, I don't know, he doesn't sound bad, I guess, but he's way too similar to normal Peppino, and his short notes sound kind of choppy, and his long notes aren't as satisfying as Peppino's, and I'm not exactly a fan of the pace of the song. It goes from very normal to very fast really quickly, and it's just super awkward. Some of the melodies are really catchy, and some of them are just sort of there. I don't know, compared to literally everything else from Tweak 8, this song in particular just doesn't really hold up the way the others do, and I don't get the hype. Do you?
Nope. This song is just plain mid, and I think people are either crazy, biased, or just plain weird when they put it over things like, oh, I don't know, Circus, or Rock Bottom, or Silence is Death, you know, literally just anything else from this tweak.
You have to be rude like that all the time?
Hey, I'm just being honest. Honesty is the best policy, right?
I guess, but you could be less rude about it.
Too bad, brother. You allowed me to stay for this. You're now getting all of this.
I am regretting that decision the longer this video goes on.
Pipe bomb, so good. I wonder what happens if
Oh, come on, Love Groove!
Sorry, bro. I just don't like this one that much. You know I've never cared for Hatsune Miku music.
You haven't heard a Hatsune Miku song yet!
Yeah, because it never interested me. I have no interest in anything Vocaloid styled. Sorry, it's nothing personal, I just don't have interest in it. And last time I checked, you haven't heard a Hatsune Miku song either. Why are you calling me out on that?
Because I may not have listened to a Hatsune Miku song, but I know this song is amazing! The chorus is super catchy, the instrumental is incredible, Miku sounds great, the song's chart looks awesome. How can you not love this song?
Because everything you said, I disagree with. Not counting the whole chart thing, that doesn't play a factor into this ranking. Look, some of the melodies are pretty good. The chorus is catchy, I admit that. But everything else for me is just very in one ear, out the other. The instrumental is fine, but doesn't really stand out in an interesting way to me. Miku is fine, I guess. I just don't care for her voice very much, and I don't know, I don't dislike him. Outside of the fact that I can barely understand a word she's saying most of the time, and I actually really like being able to understand lyrics. So, when you have lyrics that I can't understand, I get very frustrated about it, and then I don't like it.
Sounds like a skill issue.
Sounds like you're just salty.
Oh yeah? Sounds like you're just a Miku hater.
And you're acting like a little Timmy. The pacing of the song sorta drags out for me as well. The first half is fine, but the second half doesn't provide anything new and leaves me feeling pretty bored. But I only say that because I don't like this song that much to begin with. I'm sure people who love Love Groove are happy it loops back for a second run, but I'm not one of those people. I just find Love Groove to be an okay song that I'm not attached to. You're allowed to love it, obviously, but I'm also allowed to think that the song is just okay. Last complaint, I really hate the glitchy parts of the song after the chorus. It sounds awkward and clunky, it doesn't really fit, and it just damages the pace of the song overall.
You know what? I want to tear you apart for this entry, but I admit your points are somewhat valid.
So I kind of changed your mind then?
I wouldn't say you changed my mind, but your perspective is interesting, and I suppose I could give the song another listen and think of it from your perspective.
Anyways, next up is B tiers. The songs I kinda like, but I don't love.
Wait, you're telling me songs like Beyond, Mental Temple, Can You Hear Me, Syncopation are all B tier or above?
Yes. Yes, I am. Rock Bottom is...
What?
Is something wrong?
First Love Groove in C, which, okay, awful, but at least I sort of understood. But Rock Bottom? Bottom B? Why is it this low?
I was about to explain.
Boo! We must shame him!
Okay, little Timmy.
You did not just call me that again.
I did. Are you going to shut up now?
Fine.
Now to start off, I think the song has some pretty good melodies. The first half is a nice vibe, and the second half has some good tension. And the instrumental is really good throughout the entire song. There's even a cool little Phantasm reference. However, the song just doesn't click with me as much as it does for a lot of other people. Mainly on account of two issues. One, and this is a very minor complaint, I feel like the two big phases of the song don't really have a proper bridge between them, which leaves the two phases feeling kind of isolated from each other, and almost like they're two different songs entirely. But it's not too much of a problem compared to something like Termina, since it's only one pause instead of multiple. that and both phases are still good on their own terms, so it's not a big deal breaker for me or anything. What is a bit of a deal breaker for me, though, is the chromatics. And I understand they're very faithful and accurate to Celeste, but I just don't like them that much. Madeline's chromatic is mostly fine, but not one of my favorites. She can be very high-pitched at a few points, and it makes her turns slightly annoying sometimes, but only on a few turns. Battleline, though, she just sounds so off. It almost sounds like they deepened Madeline's chromatic, reversed all the notes, and it just sounds strange. Kind of like how Spider-Man and Fake Peppino made their songs weaker, that's what Battleline does, just to a much lesser extent. I admit, I love the vibe of the song for the first half, especially with the instrumental. Man, is it really good. And the second half has a uniqueness to it that I don't get out of a lot of FNF songs, and the melodies are very catchy. And the duets are pretty good since they balance out the issues.
Oh, whatever. I love this song. The melodies are amazing. The chromatics are good. I think you're wrong.
Okay, you're allowed to love this song, of course, as I've said before in the past. I've said it many, many times. You're allowed to like a song. That's fine. I don't want everyone to agree with my opinion. That would suck. I like this song, but I don't love it.
My name is Jeff.
Jeff the Kill You is a song I'm sure most people expected to be.
Are you serious? Can you not? Why is Jeff the Kill You this low?
Wait, what?
This song deserves to be higher.
Huh. I was expecting you to hate it?
Hate it? Nah, I love this song. It's a headbanger. Enough said.
Oh. Well, I kind of agree. This song has a lot of energy, and honestly, when the song is in the background, I kind of find myself just vibing to it. But when I focus in on the song itself, I get this kind of bad yet great element that, it's a kind of charm I don't really ever get from an FNF song, much less to this extent. It's kind of hilariously bad in a way that's not offensive or lazy or annoying. It's just weird in the best way possible. And despite the fact that some of the elements of the song that should be bad in a vacuum, when applied together, kinda work. I'm not saying that there aren't bad parts of this song. There are. The ending sucks. It's just a dragged out BF solo that has no weight to it, and the beginning is kinda mid. But on the flip side, Jeff's vocals work really well in this hyper-instrumental, and it's really hilarious that it's sampled from JT Music. That's funny. And it works on this joke version of Jeff really well. It's not exactly a great chromatic in isolation, but in the context of the song, it really works, and I'm shocked how much I kind of like the instrumental. It goes way harder than it needs to, and it sounds exactly like a chase theme from an old horror game. And the melodies are surprisingly decent, and BF, despite having kind of a weird sound to him, doesn't bother me. Granted, the song is far from perfect, but it's not without its good elements. It's a good mix of good and bad in the point where it's just really weird, and I kind of love that about it. Space Blasters is decent. The melodies are pretty good, and the instrumental is really fun, especially with the old school alien whistling sounds that give a ton of charm for the song, and it's a generally good instrumental all around, and the Pico reference in the instrumental is really good. Like, most people never notice that there's a Pico instrumental bit used in Space Blasters instrumental. I noticed it. That's really cool, Clover. honestly, I think the instrumental alone is what makes me like this song so much. Pico is utilized decently here, unlike Crimson Fog, and the alien sounds... I mean, I get what they were going for, but I'm just not the biggest fan of this chromatic. Especially in the faster parts of the song where it can sound a little messy, and the alien and Pico don't really have any chemistry. But outside of that, it's just a catchy song.
Hi, everybody. What the hell is that?
It's Sonic.
No, it isn't.
Okay, of all the songs in Weekly, can we agree that KB5K is absolutely the weirdest name in the soundtrack? Like, what does that even mean?
It also goes by the name Gigabreak, though, yes, I admit, KB5K does sound really weird. I'm sure it's a reference to something.
Yeah. And Gigabreak? That's way more interesting than KB5K. It sounds like the name of a droid in Star Wars. Anyways, Sonic. His chromatic's actually good. And I like the opening melodies. And, Aeon?
I think it's pronounced Eon.
Then why is there an A?
I don't know.
Whatever. Anyways, I think he sounds fine. He just kind of has a very basic chromatic that doesn't really have any uniqueness and really doesn't stand out, especially compared to Sonic's chromatic, which, I don't know, I'm thinking about it, they both sound very similar, which isn't great. But the instrumental is good, and the final segment is a nice conclusion to the song. The melodies are all really solid through the song. They're really good, but they're also the source of my issue, at least the big issue I have with the song. The entire first chunk of the song is just looped melodies. It's just the exact same section, repeated back to back, before a very sudden change, which also just loops the exact same melody like 3 times. The song is plagued with, frankly, lazy repetition. And while yes, the melodies are good, listening to this song on repeat feels less and less satisfying the more times you hear it, because you'll notice just how repetitive it is. And really, that could have been fixed if the ending was a little longer and there was more melodies to it. This song's kind of a shame, because there are really good parts to this song that make it work, but it's just tanked by, again, repetition.
We have Annie chugging the liquid.
Parched is alright. I think this song could have been a lot better, but for an Annie song, it's not too bad. My biggest issue with the song is that I just don't feel like it captures the charm of Atsuover's music. The song definitely tries to replicate the same vibe, but in my opinion, doesn't quite do it justice. There's a very abrupt shift in the song's tone near the end, which is meant to be a good enough reference, which is cool in concept, but clunky in execution due to how drastic the change is in the instrumental. And the ending is really abrupt within, like, a small little instrumental moment at the very end, which is just kind of awkward. And there's a couple of points where it's a little bit messy with Annie. It sounds like she's almost stumbling over her words as if she's singing while drunk, which, now that I'm actually saying that out loud, is hilariously fitting. But the other elements of the song are worthy of praise. Annie doesn't actually sound bad. She doesn't quite sound like herself, but she sounds decent. The instrumental is pretty good, and the melodies are kind of a bop when they're at their best. And I don't know, it's just pretty good. It's not great, but it's solid, and not a bad attempt at an Annie song.
So then where would this rank on your Hazy River tier list?
Honestly, at the bottom. I like all of Hazy River's song more than Parched, but that's not saying Parched is bad, that's just a testament to how good Hazy River is.
sorry, what?
Luminary Clock is a song I can go from really liking to really hating in like a few seconds. On one hand, the instrumental is amazing. I love the instrumental. It perfectly fits this intense boss fight style it's going for. I don't know if it fits Risk of Rain. I know nothing about this series. I only discovered what it is because of this mod. So like, I don't know. The comments can tell me if this fits Risk of Rain style. Regardless of whether it fits or not, it goes in, and I really like it. It's a banger of a track, and the melodies, they're really good. The pacing of the song is strong. It's just, alright. The issue is Mithrix. I hope I'm saying that right. But Mithrix's chromatic, in some areas of the song, is actually fine, and kind of good. However, he can also sound terrible. Specifically, the high notes. They are really bad in this song. And while they're not everywhere in the song, every time he hits a really high note, it's just really, really, really bad. But like, outside of that, it's the only issue with the song that I have. It's a very big issue, but it's the only issue with the song.
So dawn goes down today. Nothing gold can stay.
Are you kidding me? Can you hear me? This high? This should be an F. Why is it in B?
A few reasons, but first, I'll say this. I used to hate this song to the point where it was in F tier. That's where it started. I hated everything in this song. But over time, like many weekly songs, this one did start to grow on me. The first thing that made it rise to D tier was that I liked the lyrics themselves. I found myself enjoying things like the Nothing Gold Can Stay part, because cool references like Infinite's theme from Sonic Forces. And of course the final line itself.
Nothing gold can stay.
Which is a line directly taken from a famous poem by the same name by Robert Frost. I heard this poem a lot as a child, so hearing this little reference to it in this song brought back some childhood memories, as well as just being a cool little tie-in to Gold's character, and it just makes sense. And then it rose to C tier because I grew to appreciate the instrumental. I like the Pokemon sound effects, and while, yeah, it's loud, I do like the drops during the instrumental. It just flows really well. It's a solid instrumental on its own. Until the ending, but we'll get there in a minute. And now I put it in B tier because there's just, I don't know, it just kind of goes hard sometimes. There's really fast-paced rhyming in it, which actually works for the context of the song. Gold and Disabled, despite screaming most of their lines, don't really sound that bad to me anymore. It's really impressive, despite sharing the same voice actor. They managed to sound like two different singers. It works and it's impressive to me. But it won't get A tier, primarily because, yeah, that final tonal change is awful. Even the biggest defenders of the song won't try defending the ending, at least usually. And the singing goes from balanced with the loud instrumental to extremely high-pitched and clashing with the instrumental, which also brings back the brilliant screams, which I still hate. And the clever, fast-paced rhyming is just gone. The ending is a complete butchery of what was otherwise a good song. So while yes, I do see why people hate this song, I used to as well, it took time to grow on me, and now that it has, I honestly think it's way too overhated.
Mid.
The song isn't that bad.
Yes, it is.
You're just mad I ranked it over Rock Bottom.
Just shut up and talk about why you like this song.
So you want me to shut up but also to talk? Ugh. The first phase involves Ina and that stupid dog! Surprisingly enough, Parappa doesn't sound terrible here. He actually somewhat flows with Ina decently enough. I admit, it's far from great, but I don't mind him. He's used way better here than in Funky Flow, and Ina has good backing vocals, and the two just have a good bounce off each other. The melodies are fine, nothing all that special, but they're decent, and the instrumental is kind of a vibe. Overall, a fine enough start for the song. It's weird, but that sort of works. And the second phase kicks in, starring Bacteria John and Sivagander. To be honest, I do think the two of them are used much better in their own songs respectively, but I love the back and forth these two have. Melody-wise, easily my favorite part of Syncopation is that middle chunk. The instrumental has a lot of energy to it, both chromatics are used... I guess they're used fine. And there's a cool mental tempo reference. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but yeah, it kind of sounds like it. So the first two phases are good. Does the third phase end the song off on a good note? Who do you think you're kidding? Of course not! The third phase is absolutely terrible. Sunday could have redeemed herself here, but sadly, no. It's just awful. Also, Brilliance's screams are back in the third phase, and they're somehow even worse than almost every other song they're used in. Ugh. Anyways, Sunday's chromatic is still awful. The melodies are flat and boring, and Retsuko is not used well either. She sounds decent in her own song, which I'll talk about later, but here she actively drags the song down. The only reason these two were paired together, from what I can tell, is the whole metalhead screaming thing they both do, but this doesn't work when A, Sunday never had that energy in her own song, B, the instrumental doesn't reflect that style in any way, and C, most people probably wouldn't even realize this until the very end when they both do their scream, which isn't even balanced properly. This connection would have made much more sense if Plectrum wasn't an active character assassination, but no, the song sabotages Syncopation too. God, I hate Sunday in this mod. And you know what? You might bring up that John and Siva don't have an obvious connection, same with Parappa and Ina, and to that I say, fair enough point. But that doesn't change how much I really hate the potential that Syncopation's third phase had. This whole final phase took what was weird but charming and just ruined it. But at least the first two phases are good, which does save this song for me at least somewhat.
Like a fruit! I mean, like a literal walking fruit!
I used to find Fruity to be really boring, but now I find it kinda cute. But I still have some issues. The instrumental is a bit too loud, and BF's voice is a bit awkward during the song, kind of being inconsistent and switching around from different... I don't really know what to call it, but his voice just doesn't stay consistent, and I'm not really a fan of it. And some of the back and forths early in the song are awkward and they don't really sound that good. But to my positives, there's a lot of really nice melodies, the ending sounds really good, the duets are really satisfying for some reason, and the Watermelon's chromatic is perfectly fine. Sure, it's a bit of an awkward song with some strange pacing, but I find the song to be just kind of simple and cute. I don't feel like it needs to be much more than that. It's also kind of funny seeing that this song was made by Crossknife, who also made Jeff the Kill You and Luminary Clock. What a wild switch up.
They also made KB5K and Botched. Gotta give them credit, they've got quite a musical range. Mental tempo! Ugh, I hate this song.
You want to rant as to why?
Yes! Okay, Mental Temple is absolutely awful. Ina is extremely annoying. The instrumental is a tonal mess. Boyfriend's tonals make my ears shrivel. The melodies have no flow together. This song is just a disaster. This feels like a song you would hear when you're on some hard drugs. It's a D-tier song at best.
Look, I'll agree on one thing. The song is absolutely messy, but that's kind of the point. The song takes some getting used to. I used to kind of hate it, and don't get me wrong, there are still a few points of the song that are annoying, but there's also a lot of really catchy parts in there too. I think Ina is a bit of a hit or miss. Sometimes her vocals work and sometimes they don't. BF is the same way. Sometimes the instrumental sounds really good and sometimes it sounds really weird and messy. It's a mixed package, but that makes sense for Ina. She makes no sense. Her world is all over the place and extremely hard to follow, so the song reflects Ina as I see her. Chaotic, confusing, but that's what makes her and Mental Temple as a whole fascinating. I can see where the love and hate for this song would come from both sides. I personally enjoy it more than I hate it. It's weird, strange, but kind of endearing. Also, I don't know, there's a couple parts that just get stuck in my head way too easily.
I want to be perfect! I wanna!
I think Perfect Girl is an interesting song. My feelings on it are a bit mixed. I apologize in advance for how badly I'm probably gonna butcher these characters' names. Ikuyo, the red-haired girl, generally sounds pretty good in the song. I think her chromatic is decent. And Hitori, the pink-haired girl, doesn't sound bad, but there's a lot of parts in the song where her chromatic sounds like a lot of gasping, and I don't like that. And they both have speaking bits, which is kinda neat. Sadly, the chromatics are really similar, and it makes it kinda difficult to tell who's singing during the faster parts of the song, and it makes those parts a little weaker. The instrumental is quite nice though, primarily using guitars in a rock style. Cool. Hey, wait a minute, so they'll use the rock theme on this song, but not in Syncopation's third phase? Oh, what style should we use on Sunday in Ritsuko? Use the rock! They clearly were fine with using the style of music as they did it here and in Busy Work. And a few other songs. So it's not like they didn't know how to use it, so use the rock! No. I'm not talking about Syncopation. I'm talking about Perfect Girl.
Was that a dehydration gun reference?
Anyways, the thing I like most about Perfect Girl is the melodies. The chorus is really catchy and memorable, and I enjoy some of the faster back and forths between the girls. It's a good song with a couple of weak spots, but I can see why someone would consider this song a lot higher on their list. It's a solid song all around. Joink. I feel like this is one of those songs where everyone shares the same general opinion on it. That being, the instrumental is really fun, BF's high notes are amazing, and he carries most of the song. The melodies are pretty fun and bouncy, the song is really charming, but Conan's oinking doesn't really make for a good chromatic. This is the general opinion on the song, and it's my opinion as well. I fully agree with that whole sort of summary of Joink. I don't think I need to justify why the song is decently high or why it's not any lower. It's a good song, but far from Weekly's best. So yeah, being about halfway through the list is pretty fair for this song.
I don't appreciate the strangling.
We can't die, why do you care?
That is besides the point. Wait, did you say halfway?
Yeah, it's only up from here.
Obviously. busy work. This song is such a mixed bag.
Why do you say that?
Look, I'll admit, the first half is a total jam. I like the Tanuki.
Pretty sure she's a red panda.
Whatever animal she is, I like how she sounds. The instrumental is catchy, the melodies are great, but the second half just ruins it. It's out of nowhere, it ruins the catchy charm of the first half, and the chromatic is just... it's just awful.
I disagree. See, I agree with the first half being pretty good. Makes me bop my head and smile. But Retsuku's high notes are a little unpleasant, and the halfway bit in the first half is just kind of forgettable, and it doesn't do a lot for me, and the instrumental's just really low energy and makes this part very forgettable. Well, yeah, I suppose the transition could have been done better. I'm in the very unpopular set of people that thinks the second half is better than the first half. In fact, I might actually be the only person who does think that.
What? They're so wildly different. Isn't that what you disliked about Rock Bottom and Can You Hear Me?
Partially, yes. But that was only part of those songs' problems. And more importantly, I think the melodies still feel like they work together with the first and second half, so it's less of a problem for me than it is in those songs. Plus, those two felt like completely unearned switches in tone. At least Busy Work has a bit of a build-up into the tonal switch, and that second half just sounds good. I don't know what to tell you. Except for that first duet section between BF and Retsuku. That part is extremely messy and not fun to listen to. But once it starts slowing down and starts to sound a lot better, I just really like it. I like the chromatic of Retsuku's angry side when it's more focused. And the melodies go from catchy to headbanger energy really quick. I don't mind that at all, especially near the end. It's just really good. The instrumental sounds awesome, going full into the style of music that I wanted Sunday to have.
Oh, that's why! You like the song because it's what you wanted out of Sunday.
You know, now that you say it out loud, yeah, I think you might be a little right. This is the energy and tone I kind of expected from Plectrum, and I'm just happy it got in the mod somewhere. Is that so wrong that I focus on the things I like about this song more than the things that bother me?
I guess not.
Whatever you do, don't go beyond.
Goo Weekly. And now would be a good time to mention something. I love the boss's chromatic a lot. It's one of the best from the mod when it's used, well, you know, good. Sadly, in every other song we've discussed so far, it was pretty badly used. Goo Weekly, though, this is the first song on the list that shows just how good the boss can sound when given the spotlight. The intro from the song is the original Goo, but instead of it being a lazy 30-second joke, it's a full-length banger. The boss and BF flow together really well, the instrumental is really good, and the melodies are a lot of fun. But I do have two issues. One, the ending. I get it's probably trying to be funny with the abrupt cut, but as a musical choice, it does make the build-up feel kind of... Actually, no, it makes it feel really pointless. And the part where the boss starts doing his tweaking thing doesn't really work for me. It sounds out of place and really ruins the pace of the song, but everything else sounds really good. But this isn't the best of the boss's songs. We'll get there later. Oh, this is gonna upset a lot of people.
You said I like you have it. Wait, what? Tenkaichi Battle World? Huh. I saw a lot of people predicting this would at least make top 10, if not being your favorite song.
Well, they were wrong, by quite a large margin. Don't get me wrong, this song is good, I like it, but I've never loved it. Firstly, I'll say this. Shaggy and Goku are really good in this song. They're used well, and I think pairing them together was a smart move. They carry the song for the most part, all along the instrumental, but I'll touch on that in a little bit. And Get 666 has an amazing chromatic in Silence's Death. But just like Bacteria John and Siva Gunner from Syncopation, he's used better in his default song than the Tweak 10 song. Except in Syncopation's case, I thought it was acceptable usage, thanks to the great melodies, but here Subject 666 is it's just weird. He has no chemistry along with the other three, he just sounds so out of place and sticks out like a sore thumb. Not to mention none of the melodies he sings are necessarily standout melodies. And Spider-Man, yeah, I still don't like his chromatic. He's used way better here than he is in Dust Loop, but he's by far my least favorite singer of the four of them. However, the instrumental is really good, even if it's a bit on the generic side. In fact, that's kind of the whole song. Because outside of a really cool reference to the Scooby-Doo theme near the middle, which I love by the way, most of it just kind of feels like a very basic battle track without a lot to stand out. Hell, out of all the Tweak 10 songs, this one is the one I kind of forget exists half the time. Not that this one's bad, of course, I still like this one, but I don't know, it doesn't stand out that much to me. I don't mind listening to it, but there's not much I'm super attached to. Add on the mediocre Spidey chromatic and the out-of-place Subject 666 chromatic, and you get a song that for me is good, but not as good as a lot of other people will say it is. Speaking of which, next up is A-Tiers. The songs I really like, but there are still some issues that hold it back from an S-tier.
Who the IRS sent? I'm not paying my taxes.
And here we have Pig. Pig. Yeah, we already covered Joink. I'm not talking about Joink. There's no song in this OST called Pig. Pirate Indie Games. P-I-G. See?
Oh, I don't know. I never noticed that before.
Anyways, I like this song quite a lot. The instrumental fits Spamton super well, especially since it's basically just a full-on Big Shot remix. Seriously, give the instrumental a listen to sometime. It's really good. The melodies are super charming, especially with the dedicated Big Shot reference. And the song just oozes with Spamton charm. It's a really fun time. Especially with the Ad Infinitum inspired moment with Spamton's lyrics.
Lifeboat, boat shoe, shoestring, string beat, beanbag, bagpipe, pipe bomb, bomber jacket, jackdaw, doorstop. Stop, no, please don't take my furniture. Stop, watch, dog, color, Colorado, Adderall, seed fish, ping pong, poncho, choke chain, chainsaw, swordfish, shish kebab, bobcat. Do you want to get her up?
It's one of the only times in Weekly where they go for a lyric section. And no, Love Groove and Can You Hear Me are not lyric sections. Those are full-on lyrical songs. Actual lyric segments, there's only 4. This, Goodwill, Genre Null, and Buds and Bluds. This one is solid in my opinion. I like the clever rhyming and it's sung decently. While, yeah, Pirate Indie Games is lower ranking than those other songs, I would say this is still my third favorite of the lyric sections. Genre Null and Buds and Bluds are better, but I do like this one a little more than Goodwill's lyric section, but I'll talk about all those when we get to those respective songs. Now, what drags this song down so much for me is Spamton's voice. It's just not fitting for him. His chromatic isn't bad, but it doesn't feel like Spamton. I expected something more wild and crazy, and sure, maybe that's because I'm used to the headcanon that he sounds like Gilbert Godfrey, but I didn't expect this, because it just sounds so plain. It makes the song less impactful than it really could have been, because everything else is really good, except for the chromatic. Still, past that, great song.
Looks like you could use a deal. Why don't we see what we... Shakespeare. Spearhead, headgear. Gear wheel. Oil pencil. Pencil whip. Limp pipe. Pipe rack. Rack stool. Please, oh please, I beg you. Back to business. Rack to riches. Save me before I... The fishes. Phone line's ringing. You keep singing. Why can't God sing to you? I'm bringing. Hey, what's the big idea?
Yeah, there's nothing more fun than being back in school.
Motivation is nice. I like it. I enjoy the instrumental, it's a vibe, the melodies are solid, the chorus is amazing, it gets stuck in my head at the most odd of times. It's so chill and yet upbeat and stands out a lot among Weekly's catalog. Senpai sounds good, though they could have made him sound a little less pixelated. And Yuko sounds pretty good, she does the job as the opponent really well. Her chromatic's just nice. Mai, the first girl in the background, sounds fine when she chimes in. Not great, but decent. And Mayo, the blue-haired girl, sounds meh. Her chromatic is kinda mid, if I'm being honest, and she drags the song down a bit. That and there's this really weird pixelation style that pops up into the song, but not visually, so it makes me wonder if they were planning to change the visuals but ran out of time. It's very strange, the way it just kind of switches to that retro style in the instrumental and partially the vocals, but visually nothing changes, and it feels out of place. But the biggest problem I have with the song is the end where they all sing that one last note. It feels really out of tune and ends the song on a very sour note. Outside of that not satisfying conclusion and feeling kind of unfinished, the rest of the song is really a vibe. Off the Cuff is such a nice song that I feel so frustrated with. To start us off, Lucky has a really good chromatic. It's super unique and it fits the song both in the first and second half. And I do enjoy the chillness of the first half. What I don't like is... You remember what I said about Frottacini? Yeah, this song has that in it again. Except instead of it speeding up and then going back to normal, this song is the reverse. It slows itself down and then goes back to normal. And it does this almost every single turn. It's really annoying and takes me out of the first half completely. Like, listen to this. You can hear that da-na-na-na-na kind of sound, and it just sounds so awkwardly placed in the song, and it's just... Why would you do that? I don't think it's that big a deal. But if the song is frustrating you that much, why is it ranking this high? Simple. The second half is beautiful. Lucky sounds even better. The melodies are stellar. The instrumental is incredible. The chanting of the hey, hey, hey in the background gives it so much character. You just feel the emotion running through this song. It's absolutely perfect in execution, and there is not a thing I would change about it. The second half alone makes me adore this song. And if the first half wasn't filled with those annoying speed changes, whatever you call those, I would have ranked this in S tier, and a high S at that. But man, that first half just tanks the song's overall score for me. I want so much more from it. I would love a V2 that makes the first half a lot better. Because I would really love that. Just don't change the second half, please. Don't. Because overall, my thoughts are this. The song has a frustrating first half and an absolutely gorgeous second half. This is one of the only songs in Weekly that has an emotional key to it, and I respect this song so much for that. But like, it could have been better, and I gotta be fair in that regard.
come on! Beyond an A, are you out of...
That's better. Let's talk about this overhated song. But first, I want to address my audience really quickly. If you're furious that I like this song, I don't care. At all. Some of you act like this song somehow killed someone you loved. Grow up. Now it's time to talk about why Beyond doesn't deserve a fraction of the hate it gets, at least in my opinion. I love Beerus' chromatic, it fits him perfectly, and Goku sounds really good too. The chromatic fits him super well, and the two end up having a pretty much perfect chemistry, especially in their duet. Goku having a smooth chromatic compared to Beerus having the deeper and rougher chromatic just works. The instrumental really fits the battle scenario while also sounding a bit like Dragon Ball Super's music, which is also performed pretty well. I like the combination of guitar and drums, it's really solid, though I'll admit it could have been a bit more interesting. But I absolutely love Goku's pop-off, it's so catchy and stands out so much. The beginning fits the style of Dragon Ball super well, and the pop-off fits the overall context of the fight, while the ending is nice and simple, and it works as a conclusion to the song. I mean, Goku's solo is a little bit underwhelming, and the ending really only gets good once Beerus starts singing again, but the ending still fits. Given that he lost the fight, it's not a sad theme, because it's motivation for Goku to get stronger. You know, the entire dang point of Goku's character. The song communicates this all really well in my opinion, and really the biggest complaint about Beyond is that each segment just feels painfully short. Especially that pop-off. I really wanted more from Beyond, and this just feels like a song that could have gone on for at least another, I don't know, minute or so, and could have gotten more worth out of its, frankly, really short runtime. And sometimes I just feel like people are lying and jumping onto Beyond hate just when it comes to the song because that's the popular opinion. Guys, just because an opinion is a popular one doesn't mean you have to agree with it. And at least, if you're going to hate a song to the extent that some of you do, at least give legitimate reasoning for it instead of just acting like the song is somehow the most obvious atrocity ever. Because I don't feel like it is, and that's just how I feel about this song. Anyways, bro, why do you hate this song? And don't give me a childish answer, give me a real answer.
Trust me, I planned on it. Truth be told, I do agree that people overhate this song. The fact that some people call this a G-tier song honestly shows how brain-dead some of the fandom is. In fact, it's because of people like that made me want to step back and re-evaluate the song. Basically, this meme right here. The reason I don't like Beyond is because it's wasted potential. Like you said, each phase is just too short. It makes the entire song clunky and awkward. And then it just zooms by without enough impact. And that transition could have been done better. And Goku and Beerus, I mean, they're not terrible and they do kind of fit, but Beerus is just too quiet and one note for me, and Goku just sounds a bit awkward. And the melodies don't stick out that much to me. Is the song nearly as bad as everyone claims it is? Not at all. But I just find myself disappointed. Yeah, the song is overhated. And this is coming from me, someone who thinks this song is a D tier.
You're entitled to that opinion. Oh wait, one more thing I nearly forgot about, because there's this one complaint people have about Beyond that is so mind-numbingly stupid. Like, 0 IQ level stupid. People will say,
"Oh, this song doesn't fit Dragon Ball Z."
Wow, you're right, it's not. Man, because Beerus was such a cool Dragon Ball Z character, right? Yeah, I'd be shocked if the Dragon Ball Super song was styled after Super's music instead of Z. Cause that almost makes too much sense. It's almost like the song is meant to be styled after Dragon Ball Super, not Dragon Ball Z, you ass! You need a glass of water? I would very much appreciate that, thank you.
cannot see the end of the horizon. Hatsune Miku, is that you?
Genre null. This song bounced from B to A tier a lot of times before it finally settled down into A tier. So let's dive right in as to why. The song starts with Miku singing, and it's a nice introduction before the first phase. I do wish Miku was louder because every time she sings outside of this first moment, she gets very drowned out by like Sonic and Matt and Hank and Alucard. Just all the vocals she gets outsung, I guess. But back on the course of the song, the first phase has Alucard. Oh joy, yeah, he still sucks, but he's nowhere near as bad as he was in Brilliance. Making his voice higher pitched made him much more tolerable. As for Hank, he actually sounds pretty good, like he did in Crimson Fog. I actually think he sounds a little better here than he did in Crimson Fog, though he sounded good in that song, so it's not like it was a big jump. But both of them get dragged down, however, because of one big thing. Their vocals have no chemistry together. There's nothing these two have that gives them any room to play off of each other, and most of the melodies feel like a lot of spammy nature, and it's not great. I don't like that. But this first phase isn't without its redeeming qualities. The one moment where it slows down, this part's really solid. I like this bit a lot. And the Hatsune Miku singing in the phase is a decent distraction, and it does bring this up a little bit from being a bad phase. Still, it's not great, and I didn't have very high hopes for the rest of the song, given, well, this. But the second phase cuts to Sonic and Matt. I gotta give Weekly credit. They used Matt's voice really well in Champion's Ring. But as for this song, it's not bad, but it's not as good as Champion's Ring. Most of his melodies are just constant spam, which isn't great, but at least his chromatic isn't obnoxious or anything, so the spam doesn't sound bad. And Sonic sounds really good here, way better than in KB5K. Speaking of which, there's a really cool reference to it. I really like that. The instrumental is great here, like really great. And that moment when Matt just starts popping off makes for such a good tension section that takes the song from mid to good to great. Oh, that pop off is just so good. But of course, even with that, you already know what the highlight of the song is. Sonic and Miku retaliate Matt's spam pop-off with that phenomenal ending with In His World. That whole ending is legendary. It gives me chills. And Matt comes back in trying his best to fight back, but his voice gets drowned out by Miku and Sonic. It's one of the best moments in the whole OST. I love this whole final section. It's an incredible power shift from Matt's loud pop-off to then Sonic and Miku being the ones drowning him out. It's just such a good reversal. But then it kind of awkwardly and very suddenly stops with like a really meh guitar solo thing, and gonna be honest, I don't like how it ends, the whole legendary ending. But at least Miku's voice line is kind of adorably hilarious, so I guess it's not a terrible way to end the song, but it does kind of weaken just how good the In His World part was by playing it off a bit like a joke. It's not my favorite. Still, I do really like elements of this song. It's In His World. This is legendary moment right here.
Stop posting about Among Us! I'm tired of seeing it!
Mischief. I vibe with this song a ton. It's really good. The melodies are catchy. BF and Red both sound really good. The BF solo with the alarms going off is really strong. And I like the instrumental a lot. It's so silly, it's so engaging. Even though I do wish Clover used more Among Us sound effects in the instrumental, like how they kinda did for Koopa Carnage, but I got a lot to say about Koopa Carnage. We'll get there much later. It would have given this song a little more charm and made it more memorable as an Among Us song. But I don't really care too much for the ending stretch. Don't get me wrong, it sounds nice, but I expected a lot more from this ending, something a bit more chaotic and frantic like voting time would be. But instead, it's just the reprise of the opener with a bit of extra melodies on the end, and it's just kind of anticlimactic for what was otherwise a really catchy and fun song. It does a good job representing Among Us mods, and does sound really nice. But yeah, the ending just kind of feels underwhelming.
Alright. On your Imposter tier list, I'm curious. Where would you put this GIF?
I think I'd rank it above maybe Titular or Pinkwave, but I don't think I'd rank it higher than Delusion. I mean, I might, but I'm not sure if I would.
Wait a minute. Didn't Wait, hold on, this has changed. Pinkwave used to be higher than Delusion.
Yeah, some things changed. I mean, look, Double Kill and Danger got a lot higher. Ejected made S tier, and Greatest Plan is now at 3rd. Identity Crisis has been moved down to D. I mean, yeah, you could pause this tier list and compare it to how it used to look. Sometimes things change in the mods I cover. It just happens.
Finally, a worthy opponent. Our battle will be legendary!
I used to think Legend was just kind of mid, which, like other songs in this OST, it grew on me over the many times I listened to the soundtrack.
Have you listened to this OST more than any other FNF mod OST?
Only second to Versus FNF. Actually, I might have listened to this one more than the Versus FNF series, which is kind of crazy to think about. Anyways, Legend is interesting. To get my complaint out of the way, the chromatics are, interesting. Herobrine, Pack, and Mike. Truth be told, I don't think Pack and Mike they don't have bad chromatics. Even Herobrine doesn't have a bad chromatic in a vacuum. But altogether, they blend together so much that it makes the song hard to follow. It's difficult to tell who is singing when you're just listening to the song, and Herobrine could have sounded a lot spookier to fit his character, since he sounds really plain in the song otherwise. I do think Pack and Mike have weaker chromatics from Weekly's catalog of chromatics, and the song does have a few points where it stops and starts, and everyone should know that's a big pet peeve of mine. However, the rest of the song is really good. The melodies flow so well through the song. There's a ton of really catchy parts, especially near the ending. The camera section sounds kinda cool. The opener is solid. The whole song itself is just plain good. And the instrumental is fantastic. It's so amazing. The singing in the background, the Minecraft sound effects, the ambience during the camera part, and the hey, hey, hey during the ending all make the instrumental carry the song so much harder. I just wish the chromatics were more distinct from each other. Herobrine sounded spookier, and maybe the song's pacing didn't feel... Yeah, I mean, it's not that bad, but I do admit that stops and starts could just not be in the song at all. And with all those, this could have been a pretty solid S tier. This is exactly what I think makes a perfect credit song. I'm not sure if anybody actually expected me to rank There's Always Next Week, but here we are. There's Always Next Week is similar to Love Groove and Can You Hear Me? They aren't really traditional FNF songs, they're fully lyrical songs. And while those two had some good elements but overall underwhelmed, I have to admit, neither of those songs felt too different from a traditional FNF styled song. Can you hear me still at a consistent back and forth and short turns? And it did sound like a rap battle, because of course it was. While Love Groove as Miku, who sometimes just kind of sounds like an FNF chromatic when she sings by default. There's always next week. Nah. This is the kind of song you'd put on the radio while driving to work. This is the kind of song you'd sing while taking a walk. This is the kind of song you'd hear someone singing while taking a shower in a movie. This song is a true song, and I love it for that. The instrumental is really well performed, the singer did an amazing job, and the lyrics themselves are memorable and catchy. I'm not exactly a music expert, so I can't fully explain why these lyrics just work, but they do.
Crazy how certain snobs on the internet claim you aren't allowed to talk about your passion for these songs just because you don't know all the musical jargon and mumbo-jumbo.
I know, right? Anyways, this song is, well, amazing all around. It's a great jam. I don't have it any higher on my list because of one small problem. Every time the song dips into instrumental-only moments, I feel like the guitar could have been a lot more front and center in the song. But, I mean, it does have a guitar leading it in. Like, again, it just kind of blends in too much and leaves those sections feeling empty, and they could have had more unique instruments to play during those moments. Still, the song was a high contender for landing even higher on the list. And maybe in the future I could see myself putting the song further ahead, but I feel like A tier is fitting for it. It's not a song I want to listen to all the time, but it is a song I would come back to and enjoy, and just, it summarizes Weekly to me. It's good.
Did you know that corn is also called maize, and that a maze of maize is a maze?
Haystack is really good. It's not quite as good as Foolhardy, but it's still a very solid song. Zardy sounds really good, his voice sounds more sharp than it usually does, rather than quiet and ghostly, but I'm not opposed to that. It's different, but it still fits him pretty well. The instrumental is extremely good, especially with that guitar lead in. And the rest of the song kind of captures this sort of spooky Halloween charm that Zardy has really well. And the melodies are pretty solid. I like how BF mimics Zardy's scare sound. It's really cute and charming. The slow moment is a nice calm bit for the song, and oh, the Foolhardy reference at the very end is just Ascension material. It's so good and used perfectly.
So why is it only A?
Well, a couple of the melodies aren't super strong, primarily in the duets, and BF and Zardy just don't have a lot of flow together. If only there was a different character who had better chemistry with Zardy.
You're talking about Scareful, you're not clever.
Shut up, it's called foreshadowing. Oh, also, the first couple of turns are very repetitive, which does leave Haystack feeling a little sluggish on repeat, but only for the first few turns.
Everything about this song is incredible, and I kind of agree with you on everything. Except I like this song a lot more than Foolhardy. I mean, that song's good, but personally speaking, I think Haystack captures this more Zardy characteristic. Foolhardy did its job well enough, but I do feel like it was missing some tension that Haystack does have.
Agree to disagree. I think Foolhardy fits Zardy better, but I can totally see why someone could make an argument for Haystack being just as good a fit, if not better. In fact, in the comments, what song do you think fits Zardy better? Foolhardy or Haystack? Let us know what you think. Lifeless is really good, but is just not S tier for me. Oh, it kind of hurts. The beginning is pretty good. It eases you into the song pretty well, but it's nothing all that crazy, which is good for the opener for Lifeless. Isaac sounds... yeah, he sounds pretty good. His voice can be a bit high-pitched at times, but otherwise I do really like how his chromatic is handled. And the blue baby thing, whatever this is, it sounds pretty good too. Admittedly, both chromatics do kind of blend together a little bit, not to the same extent as other songs like Legend, or some of the other songs that ranked lower, but I still would say that it is a slight issue. The blue baby has this kind of filter on the voice that does make the two distinguishable, but I don't know, I would have liked them to be a little more different than just the small differences there are. Then there's the melodies. They are so bouncy and fun, and once this song starts getting intense, oh, it is amazing. The tense, fast-paced duets are really good, and when the focus comes back in onto the two as individual singers, it sounds so good. And the star of the song is that instrumental. I love these drums and guitars. It's just, ooh, they give me Binding of Isaac vibes so much. I love it, I love it, I love it. I don't know, I love the song a lot. But then, after this amazing middle section, the song sort of just winds down and feels kind of forgettable, and I would have liked it to end a bit more memorably, because the beginning and ending are just not as memorable as I'd like them to be, but man, that middle section is just so good! Of course the Splatoon song was this high up. I quite like Splatoon. I mean, I don't really play the games much, but I like the lore, I like the characters, I like the designs, and the gameplay does look cool, so yeah. Anyways, while this isn't my favorite Splatoon FNF song out there, that'll always go to Octo Amazon. Seriously, give that song a listen, it's so good. Simula Fulcrum is a solid runner-up. I love the vocals for the enemies. The way they bounce around the song makes it just flow so nicely, even if it can sometimes be a bit messy. Agent 8 though, whoo! Agent 8 sounds incredible, having a super satisfying flow with the faster parts of the song, and the longer notes still being emphasized really well. I like the waviness of all the chromatics, it's just so fitting for Splatoon, and really stands out. And the instrumental, oh, is it just so fun and catchy alongside these melodies, and it's such a great, perfect fit for Splatoon! My problems with this song, though, is I'm really not a fan of Pearl in this song. She chimes in with her cheering, and truth be told, it's just distracting and takes me out of the pace, and I don't really like the sound of it either. That and the middle section just drags for way longer than it needs to, without any of the same super catchy melodies the beginning and ending have. The song is definitely a lot better during its first and third waves, and while the ending does feel a little bit sudden, and it does end with Pearl, which as I established I don't like, I still think that the ending phase is catchy, so, you know, it wins some points there. I used to love this song a lot more, actually, to the point where it even started out in S tier, but over time I kinda grew out of it a bit, and began to prefer some of Weekly's other songs. Still, the song does a lot right and is absolutely a bop, and since it 100% fits Splatoon to the last little details, it deserves a lot of praise for that.
Dangerous to go alone.
Dangerous to Go Alone. This is just a banger of a track. This, Lifeless, Simula Fulcrum, and Haystack were all really close together in this list, and they were hard to pick out which ones I liked the most between them. But Dangerous to Go Alone ended up being my favorite of these close running four. The first half is pretty good, and the instrumental is just straight up a bop. super menacing and intense, especially with the chase music style in the second half. That's a great instrumental. Then there's the chromatics. They both sound really good, but they do have a small issue. Takuro and Hiroshi just sound too similar, so, similar problem as to some of the other songs. And there are a few parts where the melodies can sound kind of messy. Like if I was to put on this song and just go to a random part in the middle of the track, and it was in the middle of a turn, it really sounds awkwardly delivered, and it's so strange, because listening to the song naturally, just the whole way through, it doesn't have that feeling, so I don't know why it's something that happens with my brain in this song. It's weird. And then there's when Oni is revealed. The song goes from one where I really like it to one that I just love. I adore how good this beat is. It is so good. So much tension. Oni has way better chemistry with Hiroshi thanks to the effect on the voice. The instrumental pops off. I actually just wish there was even more to the second half because of how amazing it is. But sadly, it feels like it's a bit too short. I would have liked more second half, less first half, to be completely honest with you. Still, the balance is fair and I understand why it is the way it is. This song was dangerously close to making it to S tier.
Ha! I love your horrible puns. Anyways, I don't like this song very much.
Wait, why?
I'm just gonna forget it exists. Nothing personally wrong with it, I just don't care for it. It's just okay. I think it's the vocals. I find them to be sorta meh. So, kinda like how you feel about Rock Bottom is how I feel about Dangerous to Go Alone.
I'm surprised. I thought this song would be right up your alley. I mean, Tweak 8 is your favorite Tweak, and it has a shapeshifter, something you're known for doing.
Yeah.
And the instrumental goes really hard and has a style I thought you would love. I'm surprised.
Well, I thought you were gonna love Tenkaichi Battle World, so I guess we're both a little unpredictable.
Biggest complaint out of the way, this song is way too short, but otherwise I love Goodwill. Kanito Pet's vocals are really good. And Tweak fan? Yeah, this is one of the best FNF chromatics, not just the mod, but honestly, it might be one of my favorite chromatics in FNF ever. I mean that. I adore the high notes and how much energy they have. It fits this character perfectly. It makes him, like, weirdly this adorable little gremlin. The beginning is really catchy and has a nice flow. Admittedly not doing a ton that's super interesting, but I like how it fits the start of Kanito Pet, being simply harmless at first. And then, I love the switch to the dark vibes of Kanito Pet. It really does match his more sadistic and cruel nature that he starts to impose, being manipulative and controlling. I really feel like the instrumental captures that so perfectly, and that pop-off is glorious. I love the cheering chants from Tweak Fan, paired with that creepy whispery voice in the background. Oh, it is so good, especially with the instrumental. It's so good! And the ending with the lyrics is honestly really, really cute. I don't know if I like it more than the One Empire indie games. They're kind of on the same level to me. I still really like this one. Kanito sounds good, and the lyrics are cute, and they fit him really well. I don't know what to tell you. It's just an amazing song. Also, the instrumental is fantastic, like, throughout the whole thing. Oh, but each phase is just too short. I wish the song was longer, because it feels like each phase gets like a max of 2 verses, which is barely enough for how amazing this song is and how perfectly it fits Kanito Pet.
Kinda like Beyond, each section's just too short. But this one's way better than Beyond because it's Goodwill.
You had to shoot another shot at Beyond, didn't you?
Of course I did.
Are you challenging me?
Champion's Ring is a genius song. Shaggy and Matt are used brilliantly. Shaggy sings very casual rhythms, but still keeps himself restrained. Matt, however, since he's fully atonal, sings more sporadically. They don't have a proper back and forth the way most FNF songs do. They play to their own strengths, and that is the song's biggest highlight. I love how well these two's rhythms capture their sense of character, Matt being harder to follow and more abrupt and to the punch, while Shaggy is more casual, chill, and just kind of going with the flow. I love that so much. The instrumental is really good as well, having a lot of little things that if I went into detail about, we'd be here for like the next 30 minutes. So I'll just say that the instrumental is extremely good. You should listen to it yourself. There's so many little details that make this instrumental one of Weekly's best. It's really just that good. Please give the instrumentals of all of these songs a listen. They all deserve some time, because you'll notice things you probably won't notice with the vocals on top. Then, after the first calmer phase, the second phase, it starts to take a change. See, I like to see the first phase as Shaggy and Matt sort of sizing each other up, testing what the other does under very low stakes. But the second phase, they actually start to brawl a bit. Nothing too serious, but they really are starting to play around with the whole fight scenario that they're in, and I really like that. And the more this phase progresses, the faster they start to sing, which makes into a slow, but so satisfying build-up. Really love this. And then that third final phase, Matt and Shaggy taking their one of them will do the spamming notes, which feels like they're unleashing their power, while the other has a different strength, just like the first phase does. Shaggy holding those glorious long notes, not letting Matt have all the spotlight, while Matt just keeps swinging, and he has like this bum boo da bum ba dum ba. That's really catchy. Also, it kind of sounds like he's saying mustache in his turns during that, which is hilarious. The backing vocals for both of them just makes the song feel more focused, and I love it. It's such an intelligent song. I don't say that about a lot of songs, but it is just so good. Spam is spam, and it's bad. Most of the time it's bad, but when it's implemented in a smart way like this, it's fair. God, you're so stubborn. Relax, I'm joking. Oh. Okay.
Prank him, John. You already know.
Johnny Round. I remember some people would describe this as one of the stronger songs in Weekly, and the first couple of times I heard it, I just really thought it was mid. But after a lot of listens, I started to get it. In fact, it's kind of funny how the different perspectives on the song are. Either you just think it's not that good and it's just kind of mediocre, or you think it's one of Weekly's best. And as you can tell, I'm on the side of thinking it's one of Weekly's best.
I lean towards thinking it's just kind of okay. I mean, come on, Bacteria John is barely audible, and when he is more audible, the chromatic isn't very good.
It's partially true what you're saying, but I actually think it's a blessing in disguise. I won't lie, I'm not exactly the biggest fan of John's chromatic either, but that doesn't stop me from loving the song regardless. The instrumental is beautiful and carries the song, but when John's chromatic is applied on top of it, it makes the song feel more complete in a way that just the instrumental on its own doesn't do for me. The vocals help the song feel more alive. The melodies are really satisfying, more satisfying with said vocals. I love them. And for what's basically a solo song, it plays itself out really well. It's hard to get me to love a solo, but this is definitely one of my favorites that I've heard. It's just really good and really well executed all around. Catchy, fun to listen to. It's just good. Doodle Quest is absolutely amazing. This song can be described as an unapologetically funky song. Mr. Fancy Pants is a very satisfying chromatic, especially that ooh in the background during the chorus. It's I could gush about how much I love that. Oh, I love it. The telephone sample vocals is really cool. The whole song is just full of energy and life. There's not much else I can say about this song other than it is an amazing time to listen to and is ridiculously catchy.
Then why isn't it in the top 10?
Because, well, there's a couple times in the song where the vocals get kind of drowned out by the instrumental, more so BF during the telephone segment. You'll notice that he's very quiet for some reason. It doesn't fully bother me necessarily, but it is a flaw in the song I do notice. And on replay, I feel like this song doesn't stand out to me enough to warrant being higher on the list. But most of all, it's just too short. The song being 2 minutes, I would have liked more interesting moments with this song and for it to play out a little bit longer. Because as it is, I feel like this is a delicious bite-sized snack that's so satisfying, but really feels like it doesn't have enough for me to dive into. It's just really, really catchy, really fun, and that's kind of all it is. But if there's anything to take away from Doodle Quest, it's that, wow, that chorus hits so good! I'm never gonna get that out of my head. It's so good. Once you hear it, you can't unhear it. It is so stinking good.
It's the Slender Man! And he's cooking.
Despite 7 of 8 being generally a loved song, it also gets a lot of hate, which truthfully, I don't really understand. Like Champion's Ring, this song has some genius to it. The first phase captures this feeling of playing a horror game you're probably going in blind to. You're not taking it too seriously, it's just a good time to start, especially if it's one of those games where you don't think it's gonna be all that scary, like, I don't know, a Slender Man game, The melodies are catchy, Randy's chromatic sounds good, and I like how Slender Man is handled. It's just an all-around a good start. The second phase kicks in, and this, in my opinion, kind of represents how when the horror starts to really kick in during a game, once you start getting really invested into it. The moment things start to feel wrong, in the best way possible. You know there's a danger, but nothing is coming for you yet. I like this phase, but admittedly from a music standpoint, it's not all that interesting. But it is really good in terms of the whole character representation the song has going for it. But then, the jump scare moment. The moment where all control is completely lost. It's captured so well in this song. Randy's atonals, blended with Slenderman's faster notes, along with his jump scare sound effect, creates a frantic and chaotic feel that's completely accurate to what it feels like when the monster in a game reveals itself, and you lose all sense of control as you panic and attempt to get yourself together. Randy starts to come into focus a bit more, and the song takes on the style of chase music, capturing the sense of a player running for their life. It's so good. And then there's another slower bit, like a moment where you think you're safe. That brief feeling, then it's over before the song brings back the chase vibes. But this time you're ready for it. You have more focus, just like the song does. It's a perfect parallel for how horror games can feel for the first time playing. You're overthinking this, Neo. And what's wrong with that? Can I not be allowed to have a creative look on the song whether I love, like what I love it? Can I not do that? Can I not justify my love for the song in descriptive language that makes me love the song more? Is that wrong?
No, it's fine. It's cool. I don't think this song is very good. I don't like Randy's chromatic. The pop-off is weak, and Slenderman's too quiet. But the beginning stuff is decent. I think you're overthinking it.
Well, agree to disagree. I love this song.
Whatever. But you forgot to mention the funniest part of 7 of 8. Randy's voice is sampled from...
Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier, and I am officially back. Yes! Yes! Yes!
I still don't know if I fully believe the wiki on that one.
It's funny, so I believe it.
Oh yeah, did I rant about how good the instrumental is? The whistling in the background of the first phase gives it so much character. The bells in the transition phase make it feel atmospheric. The jump scare phase using Slenderman's scream is really good. And the bum bum in the background is fantastic. It's an incredible instrumental. Even if you don't like the vocals, give the instrumental a listen. It might win you over. It's just really good!
Let's just move on to the top 10 now before you explode.
I'm sorry, I can't help it. I really, really, really love some of the best of Weekly songs. Evolution, to me, is kind of like how I felt about Doodle Quest on crack. Doodle Quest is obviously amazing, but Evolution? Oh, I love this song so much. I adore the instrumental. It is a ton of fun, being super energetic and non-stop adrenaline. Not to mention all the cool extra thrown in, like the peanut butter jelly time, Sparta theme, and like so many other memes from that era. But it is a giant shame that most of the references are completely buried into the vocals. So, once again, go listen to the instrumentals on their own. Seriously, you will not regret spending that time to, because they're really good instrumentals. And even though, yeah, the vocals do overshine a lot of the fun references that are harder to hear, the vocals are really good. Like, these melodies are addicting, especially the chorus and the pop-off. I adore those moments so much. This song is just fun, no other way to put it. It invokes a feeling of 2000s nostalgia way better than any other song from not only Tweak 7, but most songs I've ever heard that try to capture this era. Evolution does it way better. It's just... It does it so well. With all that said, the chromatics for the ducks, a lot of people don't really care too much for them, and I admit I understand why. My issue is... I mean... At this point, you could probably say it before I say it.
They sound too similar.
They sound too similar. Thankfully, there's no moment where they try to duet over each other. The only times where they do have any duet, they're singing the same melody, so it's never hard to follow, which makes it a lot more forgivable in my eyes. The song's just a banger.
Honestly, this is a song I can see someone making a cover of Us with. Or maybe Circus, or Friends and Fellas. I don't know. Someone do that, now!
Stop trying to force people to do what you aren't going to do.
Nah, it's funny. I'm the funny one.
I know what you're referencing. Visciosubridophobia.
How can you say the name of that song so easily, but you can't say Danganronpa?
Well, I don't know, Danganronpa is just harder to say.
Yeah, right. Wait, you just said it! Have you been able to say all these words this whole time?
Anyways, I love this song. The boss sounds absolutely incredible. The instrumental is fun and energetic, and one of my favorite instrumentals in the mod, honestly. The melodies are ridiculously good, being super fun and catchy. The entire song feels like a mini Buds and Bluds, which, trust me, that's a very high compliment. I love this song. It's so good. And sadly, I think a lot of other people will overlook this song because of the visuals and the association with the other songs in the same tweak, like Teaking and Goo, which is just really unfair. The song is so good and deserves way more love. My literal only issue with the song is it's too short. The song doesn't need to be too long. It could be like 2.5 minutes, but as it is, being a minute and a half is just too short, and it just runs by so fast for how addictingly catchy this song is. It's so good. It's so amazing, but it just runs. It just has such a short runtime, and it's sad, honestly.
We offer you this sack of rice.
Cleanse him of all his imperfections.
Steer clear of all the intersections.
And return him to his perfect state.
Take a left turn on the interstate.
Boris, shut up!
Boris, shut up.
Devil's Ditty, don't you dare make the joke. Oh, right. You're muted. I forgot I did that. The song is amazing. I love the opener and how old-timey it feels. For the song to go full force in the swing and tune direction, I just adore this style so much. Bendy's chromatic is incredible, perfectly capturing the mischievous and playful energy of Bendy. It's really cool, and his voice, fun fact, is sampled from Oreo. Awesome! As for Boris, he sounds more mature and rough, giving these two a perfect chemistry. It's a match made in heaven. Or hell, I guess, since Bendy's a demon. Huh. Anyways, the melodies are so catchy, and give the song a ton of charm. It really reminds me of classic Bendy fan songs like Build Our Machine. In fact, I think that this song might have been slightly inspired off of those old Bendy fan songs, but I'm not fully certain about it. I adore the song's charm, melodies, chromatic, everything is just wonderful. And that violin in the instrumental, look, the instrumental's already fantastic, but that violin is doing wonders for this song, and is the perfect inclusion. And also the you won't really hear, because vocals kind of overlap it, but again, instrumentals, listen to them. I'm gonna not say that anymore, but please go listen to them. So good, and you'll notice so many little things. This whole song is just amazing. The only thing I think could make it better is if it had maybe a little bit more going on. Like, it's a jam of a song, but I do feel like it's still missing something. But I don't really know what it's missing. It's a great song through and through. Alright, fine, I'll unmute you now.
Ugh, that was annoying.
Would you look at that? You're finally awake.
Is that Trebron?
Friends and fellas, talk about an incredible song. First giant praise of the song, Trebron. His chromatic is one of the best chromatics I've ever heard. This might just be one of my favorite chromatics in the mod. It might actually be my favorite chromatic from the mod. It is that good. And I know I was talking about how much I love Tweak Fan's chromatic, but I love Trebron's somehow even more than that. That should say to just how much I think Trebron is carrying the song. Except he doesn't need to carry it because the rest of the elements are so good. Pitch, bounce, flow, filter, it's all incredible on his voice. It's satisfying, it's got tons of range, it's perfect. And Norbert sounds really good too. He's basically the exact same as Trebron, but without that little filter on him. Which makes their duet sound so good. The instrumental is great too. Again, I could gush for so long about why I love this instrumental. The piano being the main instrument during the song is satisfying. The drums, the guitar, it's all stellar. The intro is a great startup to the song before that drop kicks in. It's not too chaotic or frantic. The song eases you in and gets you comfortable in the pace, and then it just starts flowing naturally, and you just groove. It's all of these fantastic melodies. It's kind of perfect, honestly. This might have one of the most natural and honestly satisfying flows out of all of the songs from this mod.
I like a lot of this song too, but truthfully, once the pigs come in, I lose all interest.
Oh, right. Conan and Nanok. I get that. For as good as this song is, I feel a bit mixed on the pigs. They don't ruin the song, not at all, but they don't exactly help. Kind of. It's complicated. The melodies they sing are pretty good, and the instrumental sounds absolutely amazing when they enter the song. Seriously. Dun 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 dun. Like that. The piano progression. Oh, it's so good! And their chromatics are better than generic pig oinking, but that's not a high bar to pass. They both sound exactly the same, outside of Nanok having a slightly deeper pitch, but it's barely even noticeable. And while the melodies they sing are nice, they don't come to the same level as Norbert and Trebron's stuff. And their chromatics can kind of overpower Norbert and Trebron during the duets, which there aren't too many of. And on top of that, they have a moment where they fuse together into Konok, and they have one turn together in that, fusion, where nothing interesting happens, and it just feels completely pointless. However, like I said, the pigs don't ruin this song at all, since the Newsman Brothers stuff is absolutely peak anyways. And the instrumental and melodies are great during those parts for them, so, I don't know, the pigs don't ruin it. It's great. They're not doing a lot to help, but their inclusion doesn't lower the score for me.
Wait, Norbert and Trebron's last name is Newsman?
Yep.
Heh, that's hilarious.
Silence is death. Oh, this song used to be my second favorite song from Weekly. And while it has fallen down a bit in the rank, it's still peak. Subject 666 is perfectly utilized here in this song. I adore his chromatic, it's so naturally smooth and, like Trebron, one of the best chromatics in Weekly. Not as good, but still up there. And the same also goes to Billy Bloxer. The fact that his voice is sampled from its raining tacos should be more than enough justification why his chromatic is really fun. And then there's Zero and Betty Bloxer, who enter the song afterwards. I love Zero's chromatic. It flows so well with 666, and Betty Bloxer sounds fine. I just wish I could hear her better since she's very quiet. The melodies play into the vocals super well, the instrumental is so impactful alongside 666 high notes, and it just makes you feel the beat. And the drop is one of Weekly's best. This whole song just makes you jam alongside the song. And for as much as I love this song, for as peak as most of it is, I do have a few little things that over time convinced me to rank the song out of the top 5. And I mean that the things that separate these next few songs came down to small details. They're all really close together. What ended up being the breaking point for me when it came to Silence's death was the ending. I wish there was more to it because as it stands, it sounds so unfinished. I would take even the slightest instrumental fade out, like how it starts in the intro, but no, it's just nothing. It just cuts super suddenly after it loops the opener's melodies. And I also wish Betty Bloxer was louder and more present in the song, like I said earlier. Outside of that, and those two issues are pretty noticeable, but outside of that, the song deserves gold. It's so good.
Geometry Dash.
Transient Tribulation is just as hype as Silence's death. I love every single verse in this song. You know what, never mind, it's more hype than Silence's death. BF and the Geometry Dash Cube have such a perfect balance and make for my favorite vocal performance in the mod. The way their vocals just slide and rise throughout the song is utterly perfect. The instrumental is funky and fun with so many amazing moments I could gush about in length. The duets are heavenly, the melodies are addicting, and the tonal shift, it's so well earned for a Geometry Dash song, and it hits you like a bomb of energy. It is absolute perfection, and I feel terrible that it can only be number 5. Oh, this is pain. Because it doesn't feel like enough. This top 5 was so close. The only thing I want more from this song is that it is way too short. It feels like it could be a minute longer, because being 2 minutes long, way too short, criminally short. Because everything else is absolutely nailed.
I cannot believe I used to think this song was just okay the first time I heard it. The more you listen to it, the more ingrained it is into your soul. To the point where it went from around top 20 status for me to being a quick top 5 after a few listens. It gets criminally overlooked, and I can see myself growing on it more. It is truly spectacular, but yes, it is way too short.
Think, Bowser. We'll outlast every fragile, insignificant franchise on this planet.
Now, when it comes to Mario songs in FNF, it's Koopa Carnage, isn't it? Okay, shut up for a minute. I'm trying to set up a perspective, so shush. As you all may remember, I covered Bowser's Infernal Bout sometime back. It was a full FNF mod dedicated to Bowser, and back then there were 3 songs I loved: Rage Party, Crowned, and Dark Immunity. While Rage Party has gotten a bit weaker over time, Crowned and Dark Immunity both got a great deal better over multiple listens, especially Dark Immunity, which has become very high in my top 100 since that initial video. I say all this because if you combine the climactic energy of Dark Immunity, the fantastic melodies and fun nature of Crowned and the ridiculously high intensity of Rage Party and combine them into one song, I don't know if it would come out to be as good as Koopa Carnage. I love Koopa Carnage so much. The instrumental is insanely good. The guitar, being the lead-in in the song, makes it so satisfying. But the drum and synth sounds in the back just make it feel twice as good, and a perfect fit for Bowser. But then they went a step further and added Mario sound effects into the instrumental. Koopa Troopas, Thwomps, the new Super Ba-Bombs, the Mario 64 font in Bowser Jr.'s intro. This instrumental is perfect. A perfect Bowser-styled boss fight. And that's not even talking about the fantastic melodies and vocal performance. Bowser has never sounded better before. His chromatic is handled incredibly well. Mario and Luigi both sound just as good. I love the Italian gibberish elements played into the song. And Bowser Jr. sounds awesome. The laughing being on time with the beat makes me, I would scream. It is so perfectly done. And that final turn with the Mario Bros. Duet, with the return of the Mario 64 style, oh my god, it is so good.
I'm shocked. This is an SS tier for you.
Honestly, yeah. I could see myself bringing this up into SS, maybe. But I do admit, I do wish that there was a little bit of a difference with how they loop it back to the intro melodies after Junior's, pop into the song. And Mario could have sounded a bit better, because he does sound a bit plain. I've heard better Mario chromatics, if I'm being honest. This doesn't quite make me think of Mario as well as I think it could. The chromatic is amazing in a vacuum, but given how perfectly Bowser Jr., and Luigi all sound relative to their own character, I feel Mario could have sounded more accurate. And admittedly, Bowser isn't my favorite chromatic ever kind of thing, but, those are tiny complaints. This song rocks, and earned being one of my favorite FNF songs. But it had the top 3 of brutal competition. So, I don't know what to tell you. Fantastic song that does so much justice to the Mario franchise, but got beat out by things that were somehow even more perfect. Putting Scareful at number 3 feels like a disservice. Oh, this song is so stinking good. What can I say? This song takes all of the best elements from Haystack, Legend, Goodwill, and 7 of 8 and combines them into this complete masterpiece. Zardy and Randy's opener is both the weakest of the 3 phases and somehow is still one of my favorite openers for an FNF song. It's incredible. Zardy sounds even better here than he did in Haystack. The instrumental gives up the spooky vibes of Tweak 6 while also hitting hard like Haystack's did. Randy also sounds way better here, being at his absolute best. The melodies are really strong. The references to Foolhardy and Haystack make Zardy feel like such a menacing threat and make it all feel full circle. It makes for such a good, strong, stunning intro that really starts Scareful off on the best route it can. I especially love that little slow moment. Oh, this is such a good vibe here. And then it just cuts right back into being intense. Oh, I love the way this song handles its pacing. Mostly, but we're not going to talk about that right now. Herobrine and Tweak Superfan's turn to shine. Tweak Superfan still is one of the best chromatics in the mod, and of course he sounds incredible here, especially when he starts popping off. Those beat drops of Tweak Fan are the best beat drops in Weekly, period. They make the song feel so alive. Herobrine also sounds pretty good here, thankfully standing out way more without the two Minecraft guys stealing his spotlight. And the instrumental is incredible with the video game-like style. Perfect fit. The only thing with this phase, I want more from it because as amazing and peak as it is, it's too short. Criminally too short. Like, a lot of the phase is made up of the bam, bam that keeps like popping up, which I love, by the way, but I want a little bit more. Especially since the instrumental kind of dies down whenever those parts aren't the big highlight, which sort of works as this kind of rise and then fall, so that way the whole phase doesn't feel like it's too much energy. But honestly, I'd rather have too much energy than having this phase be so short, because, man, for as stellar as this phase is, it feels like it passes by way too fast. But then the finale. Yeah, this is a perfect conclusion. The melody speeding up makes the ending feel so much more impactful and really makes it feel like that time is running out. Tweak Fan's little moments where he's like chiming in, kind of like cheering on Randy like they're a proper team, and Slenderman sounds so good. This is Randy's rematch with Slenderman, and the song really makes you feel like Randy is standing his ground this time. He's not gonna run this time. It really gives you that sense of a run back. It's so... what can I say? It is peak. The melodies, references, instrumental, it's all stunning. This song is perfection, and this decision was so brutal to make between this and even Koopa Carnage. But... Scareful, just barely... didn't even... I don't know what to tell you. Scareful isn't SS tier for me, because again, Tweak Fan's phase with Herobrine really could have been longer, because it's frustrating how short it is, especially since Slenderman and Zardy's phases are a good deal longer. I wish there was just a bit more of an even balance, but like otherwise, I also wish the ending was a little bit longer. Like, I'm devastated I can't rank this song higher.
Is this your highest S tier currently you've ever ranked?
Yeah, it probably is, actually. Funny enough, the only other song that I can think of that's this high of an S tier that just barely scratches out of SS for me nowadays is the original Happiest Day. You realize how good you have to be literally on the same level as that song? Being around my like 15th to 16th favorite FNF song ever? That's kind of insane. Scareful is spectacular. It's that good. But my top two are flawless.
Welcome, my friends and fellas, my buds and bloods, to FNF Weekly!
Buds and Bloods. You know, a lot of people might say it's overrated just because it's the fan favorite of Weekly's OST, but I think it absolutely earns that title. Not only does it earn the title as being the most popular song in Weekly, but it's also one of the best songs. In fact, it's one of the best finale songs I've ever heard from any FNF mod. It's that good. The boss sounds at his best here. This is his peak. The way his chromatic slides across the song, his atonal tweaking, it works really well, his backing vocals, and BF, woo! I don't know what they did with his voice, but man, is it just perfect. I love the echo in their voices. I love how both of them feel so powerful, like they're on the same playing field. Neither one of them can truly overpower the other. It's an intense struggle, and it's so well captured. That, with fantastic melodies, yes please! And the instrumental is absolutely phenomenal. The chaotic sounds of the screams in the background, alongside just the raw power given by this instrumental, really conveys final boss energy. I love it so much. And the back and forth between these two are really good, especially that bump, but the bump, bump, bump. Like, ooh! I love this song so much with all these different melodies. And then there's that slow part. I love that part too. It really works as a calm before the storm moment, a chance to breathe. And there's so many little things about this slow section that are just really good. BF's deep notes, they hit so well. It's very rare to find when BF has a deep voice, but hey, when it happens, it's pretty cool.
I don't get why people complain when Boyfriend hits deep notes. It's like him having range is somehow a bad thing to people.
Yeah, I never really got why people complain about it either. I think it sounds fine. Something else I love about the slow section is that ticking clock in the background. It makes this segment feel like a time to breathe, but like you're still counting the seconds before it hits you back with all the energy again. And then a Visio Sobritophobia reference right there in the transition. Oh, it ties it all together and it's just so well done. I love how the instrumental just feels so climactic. I love how BF and the boss play off of each other with their melodies. And I don't know what else to tell you. This whole section is just so wonderful. All of it is. But then a fake out. And not even a bad fake out. A proper fake out. The song almost felt like it hadn't quite finished yet. It still had something left to go for. And the fake out doesn't last for long. Because then Norbert comes back. Wow, is his entrance something. The dialogue, like, just top notch for the voice acting there. They really just overkill for how good it is. And that instrumental feels so climactic. And yet it works alongside the song so well. It doesn't feel like a drag. It's not too long. It's not too short. It's just wonderful. It's a great build up into the lyrics. This is one of my favorite lyric sections in all of FNF, if not my possible favorite. It's that good. Norbert's singing voice is top tier, the lyrics are fully understandable, and that melody, oh my... That melody is peak. It sounds like an army march in that first half, being super orchestral in the instrumental. And then the second half just feels like this motivational, battle cry-like lyric, and it's a rally gathering the final bit of strength left. And, I mean, what can I say? These lyrics speak for themselves. They are perfectly done. That final act with the boss and Norbert really needs to be talked about more because, man, it just hits. Every single note just feels so energetic and adrenaline-filled. Everything from the previous parts of the song amplified to the max. It is godlike. The song is fantastic on so many levels and blows me away. And the climax sends shivers down my spine. It is wonderful how good it is. And yet, there was one song I like slightly more.
Inch by inch, day by day, disproportionately weigh our realities are baffling. Pose haste a step away. Week by week, no control. Destiny now takes its toll. Tweaking bosses, lines he crosses. What the fuck was it all for? Now I gotta wager thousands. My reputation dragged through countless months. Now I gotta save what's happened from the friends and fellas, buds and bluds.
Where do I even begin with Circus? How do I even talk about how perfect this song is? I guess I can start with the basics. I love both chromatics. They sound fantastic. Siva and Giva, they're used wonderfully, and I really like it. The structure of the song is perfect. It's like a big old love letter to Siva's entire style. The melodies are phenomenal. Every single melody plays off of the next in absolutely just pure harmony. Both, not just in vocals, but in the instrumentals too. And all the different references, I mean, to name some of the ones that I noticed over some of my early listens, we got Dad Battle, a Megalovania, The Amazing Digital Circus, Athletic from Mario World, Bad Apple, Stuck Inside, Woodman's Theme, Space Jam, Fireflies, What Makes You Beautiful, Big Chungus, Deltarune twice, and so on and so forth. Finding every reference in this song makes it so much fun, because you'll find something new almost every time you listen to it. And again, just to name some of the personal favorites of mine that I get out of this song, I love when the Dad Battle theme, like, I love when that kicks in, and I love the Athletic from Mario World, especially since that one's very famous for Siva Gunner. And then the instrumental with the What Makes You Beautiful and Space Jam moment at the very end. I absolutely love that. Even the little nod to Visciosopratophobia, I love that. But really, all of these melodies are peak. They flow so well and keep the song constantly energetic. It just hooks me in every single time those first turns start up. This song, it just captures a type of vibe I've never felt before. It's so unique yet familiar, different yet nostalgic. It has everything I could want from a song like this. I can't even begin to dive into why this song makes me smile from ear to ear without ranting for the next hour, or why this song sometimes just makes me dance, even in public. And when it pops into my playlist, everything else in the world just stops for a minute, as I just enjoy this absolute masterpiece. Circus is just that good. Every single element made it number one for me. I mean, Siva made a rip of this song himself. I mean, that should say more than enough. It's Circus. One of the best FNF songs ever, and I will die on that hill. Finally done. I'm not gonna drag this outro out, because this has been a long video, and I'm just happy I've made it to the end. Here's my tier list, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and you know what? I'll be honest. It wasn't that bad having you around.
Oh, really? Would you invite me back?
Maybe for Tweakmas, but that's it. Alright? I want to go back to a bit more of a normal style, you know? This was a little chaotic for me.
Ah, fun sponge. Oh well, I suppose that's acceptable. I'll see you around, Neo.
See you around, bro. Hope you guys had a good time watching this. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great rest of your day. God bless. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye!